Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to attract a wife material girlfriend in as soon as 10-20 days without doing pickup and without doing all of these crazy, pickup tactics. I'm going to go over how to get a woman that is a wife material, that is somebody that you can watch movies with, somebody that you can have conversations with, somebody that isn't isn't putting themselves out there on Instagram, and somebody that you can really spend many years with. And I'm telling you this from experience because I am currently in an 8-year relationship, and I'm going to show you how I actually did it with my own relationship and how I was able to build a family. My name is Jesse, and in this channel, we're going to talk about things that help you. So the first thing that you need to do is focus on building yourself. So when I was able to attract the woman that I am with right now, I was focused on self-discipline. It wasn't long-term self-discipline, it was temporary self-discipline. So the way that worked was, for a small period of time, I was working on myself intensely. The things that I did was I was focused on lifting weights, I was focused on my mindset, so I was meditating, and I was especially focused on my conversational skills. So and I'll explain to you why conversational skills matter later in the video and why it will immensely help you. So when I was actually working on myself, unconsciously I was pre-selecting women. So, I would come across a lot of women. On my way to work, I was actually working at a place called Solar Brokers, and I had to travel an hour to get to this place. And every time I would travel there, I would bump into women all the time. But I wasn't one of these, weird kind of pickup artists or anything trying to spark conversations and, stop people in the middle of the street or anything like that. I was actually terrified of going up to people. So I did a few things. So I actually put myself in environments that helped me, meet other people. And I was actually getting really good at building relationships during that time, because when I was in sales, it was actually building up my relationship building skills. I was getting really good at sales, and my conversational skills were getting up. And we'll touch on that at the very end and why you should incorporate this to land a woman that is going to be wife material. So as I mentioned before, I was actually, traveling back and forth from Hamilton to Toronto. That's where I was living at the time, to Toronto to work. And, when you obviously travel that far, you bump into a lot of women. Some of them are attractive, some of them are not. I had a specific type in mind that I wanted, and, sometimes I would come across that type. But what I did do is, because I was practicing a few things. I was practicing no fap, so I wasn't fapping at all for a specific time frame. I was practicing semen retention, but I was heavily lifting. I was doing a lot of squats. When you do squats, it builds up your testosterone, and it also builds up your level of, if you are, not confident in yourself, then this will build up your confident level. You could do squats with dumbbells. You could do squats with, just by doing free weights. You could just do squats just by having your hand like this and up and down, up and down. If you do squats and you strengthen your legs, you're gonna build up your testosterone, which builds up your confidence. And squats is one of the secrets that I've been using for the past 20 years to really build myself, build my confidence, build my ability to speak, right? So I was focusing specifically on doing a lot of squats, and I think that squats can really help you if you are doing a lot of weightlifting. And obviously, you focus on your upper body, you get your upper body good, but women don't really care about your upper body too much. They just want you to be fit. They don't care if you're jacked. They don't care if you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They just want you to be fit. So if you are working on the muscle parts that matter, like your thigh muscles, and you're building up your testosterone, and you're building up, your dopamine levels, you're gonna have more confidence when approaching women, when having conversations. So I was having conversations while I was sitting on the bus. I would sometimes I would have a conversation with the person that sits beside me. Now, this doesn't always work because sometimes people might not want to sit beside you. That's okay. But, you know, if you believe in law of attraction and you understand how the law works, if you look at Bob Proctor, I highly recommend checking out Bob Proctor's meditations. If you visualize the outcome and the end result, you will eventually bring the end result into fruition. And that's what I did is, first of all, I actually scripted the type of woman that I wanted months ago, months before it actually happened. I scripted exactly the type of woman that I wanted, the features that I wanted, and the type of woman that I wanted. The second thing that I did was I kept visualizing myself getting into that, into that circumstance. So I would I would do meditations before I went to work and during work too, in the washrooms. And I kept doing meditations, visualizing, the kind of woman that I wanted to be with, the kind of experiences that we wanted to have. And I kept visualizing the outcome in my mind. I didn't really have a specific type of woman in my mind, but I actually wanted a specific type of woman. So essentially what happened was, near to the end of that employment, just before, we all got laid off, because eventually we all got laid off from there. But just before that, a few weeks before that, I was on my way home from Toronto going to Hamilton. And what happened was, is the most mind-blowing thing, right? I was heading on home. I was waiting for the bus, right? And I hopped on the bus. The bus was completely packed, okay? And the strangest thing happened. Well, it was the exact type of girl that I wanted. Based on the meditations and what I scripted, was walking down the aisle, and because there was no other seats left and nobody wanted to sit beside me, and there was a guy on the right side of me, and he had his laptop on the chair, and there was an open spot right beside me. So the guy looked at me and I looked at him, and she's coming. And I'm thinking, okay, well, she's gonna sit over there because, that guy obviously kind of looks better than me. He looks like Brad Pitt over there. This guy looks like Brad Pitt with glasses. He has his computer and everything. And honestly, I just say, you could sit over there. You could sit right here. This is open right here. And she's like, okay. And she sat beside me. And now I'm going to go into how sales and conversational skills got into the way of, building up this relationship. Well, I highly recommend learning and practicing skills like sales. Sales will help you close the deal. You have to understand sales and you have to understand follow-up, because this goes into relationships. So what happened was, we had a conversation for an hour all the way back to Hamilton. We were having conversations. I started the conversation just talking about stuff from work. I was talking about stories that I knew about. I was just talking and talking, asking her questions. And, we were having this bit of conversation. I asked for her number and she said no. Okay, this is very important. So I got rejected. I asked for her number. She's like, no, I don't give out my number to strangers. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, that's fine. It's no worries. And then, we're close to Hamilton. And then I asked for her number again. Okay. And she's like, no. This is close to Hamilton. She's like, I asked for her number. Can I have your number, please? She's like, no, I don't want to give out my number. I'm sorry. So this is the second time I struck out, okay? So what happens was, we depart the bus. We're at our destination. We depart the bus. And this is something I learned in sales, and this is something that you can incorporate too, is when somebody sees that you are persistent enough, okay, and you are, willing to follow up, and you are willing to have a long relationship, they will start to sense that. They sense your vibration and they sense your intention. So what happened was I asked her if I'm going this way too, where our bus is over there. Do you mind if we walk together? And she's like, oh, okay, because I've already built up that rapport, right? We were already, having that conversation, so she felt comfortable, even though she rejected me twice. So as we're walking and stuff, I'm just kind of, we're making jokes. I'm calling her weird. I'm sparking emotions. Sparking emotions is very, very important. Make sure you write this down. Spark emotions. If you can spark laughter and say something stupid or silly and make her laugh at least 5 times, you start to get into her, rapport state where she is more trusting of you. If you're stale the whole time, she will not give you your number. This is one important thing that I did, was I continued to build that relationship up. Then what I did was, when we got to the bus stop, I asked for her number a 3rd time, which is crazy. I know it's crazy because, some guys are like, oh, well, she'll report you. Oh, she's going to call the cops on you. Oh, she's going to do this and that. She's going to put you on social media. I asked her for a number a 3rd time because I was showing her I was really interested. I wanted to follow up. So what happened was, when I asked her for a number, she actually said yes. She actually said yes. And I was like, okay, can you just please, we'll just be friends. I'll just shoot you a text. We were at our bus stop and I asked for her number one more time. She said yes. She gave me her number. And what happened was we actually got on the next bus, and I kept the conversation going. I kept the conversation going as much as possible, just talking about stuff. And this is very important, because if you keep the conversation going, you're making her laugh, you're sparking the emotions, she's more likely to be receptive to you and more likely to trust you and trust your actions. Because if you're not doing that, and you have a 5-second conversation with her, obviously she's not going to give you her number. So what happened was, after that, we parted ways, and I sent her a text, and I thought it was a dead number. I thought it was a phony number. And I remember the next day I didn't get a text back because I thought, okay, well, this was, she gave me a fake number, whatever. But when I kind of just like, I forgot about it. I just, continued with my day, whatever. And then out of the blue, I received a text saying, oh, it was nice meeting you last night. Thanks for the conversation. And that was it. Game on, guys. That's when I knew she was actually interested. From there, I text her small texts back and forth, shot her one text. Okay, I didn't shoot her like any kind of paragraph or anything. I shot her a small little text, and then she texts back, small text again, a text back, small little joke here. She texts back. I'm gonna shoot her one text. I kind of detached from it because I was like, okay, well, she's, I wasn't attached to it. And I think that's where a lot of guys make a mistake, is they get so attached, they get so clingy and so attached to the woman. Oh, they're simping over the woman. And when you get too clingy and you attach to the woman so much, you scare her away, you push her away. It's the law of detachment. It's the same as any law. The law of detachment applies to everything in life. It applies to money. It applies to things that you want. It applies to jobs. If you're trying to get a job and you're so attached to trying to get a job, you're not going to get the job because you're so attached to it. So the law of detachment works as though, you let it free, and it's just going to happen for you, and you're detached from the outcome. And this is where she started to build up the conversation. I'm going to save the rest of the story for part 2. Make sure to subscribe, and I'm going to share with you more of this strategy on how I was able to get a long-term wife material relationship. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in the next few videos. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and share some comments with me. I would love to hear from you. And thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys.